This is Praveen Kumar, Advocate Praveen Kumar. Today, as you can see on the screen also, that the topic set is for procedural harassment. That today the people are facing everywhere, and as we know that procedural harassment has become a norm, routine, and above all, a norm nowadays in every field, in every system in which we are living. Now, you have to understand first that what is this procedural harassment is. You know that our system of justice is based on constitutional principles, which means that justice, dispensation of justice, should be according to the constitutional principles. And the procedures which are made in conformity with the constitutional principles. For example, that if any FIR is registered and the person is arrested, then that arrest is mandatorily required to be reported to the magistrates. And the person who is arrested cannot be detained more than 24 hours constitutionally by the police. It means that beyond 24 hours, the police has to produce the person before the concerned magistrate, and from him they have to seek permission for further detention, for further custody. And if it is not done, then that custody will be treated as illegal. But what is happening, that false criminal charges are being framed by the police nowadays. Fake FIRs are being registered against the people, both common and the special persons who are on dissent with the present ruling establishment, or who are not going by their ways. Then they are put to procedural harassment. First, they will be arrested on manufactured charges, then they are detained, then their ordeal starts. That is, they have to run. Their relatives They have to run from one pillar to other. And even then, after running so much, they get nothing. They are trapped in one procedure or in another procedures, and they are made to run like this. We can say otherwise that this is the misuse of the process, the procedures, just to put somebody on procedural harassment. If you follow one procedure, then you are trapped in another procedure. So this harassment continues till their object is, the object of the perpetrator is achieved. And if it is not achieved, then the ordeal is much harder. They may remain behind the bars for indefinite time. So, by procedural harassment means that you have to run to complete those procedures which the authorities never allow you to complete. Because if you are able to complete one set of procedures, you are trapped in another set of procedures. And it goes on. And it goes on till the ulterior motive for which the person is trapped is achieved. Even if you go to the courts, you will see that you will not get bail. For many days, for many months, and even for many years. So, the criminal justice system, which do not call for such things, are being done by the authorities. The constitutional principles are being neglected by the authorities. When we misuse the procedures and when we put some people to procedural harassment, this is all the way unconstitutional. Constitution does not permit. This is how the system is being run, is going on at present. That because of the fake sort of charges by the police authorities, and making such people run after the procedures, is what the procedural harassment is. And this is very much prevalent today in a very routine manner. And when the you get rid of the procedures from the authorities, the executive authorities, and your case goes to the court, there you have to deal with another set of harassment, procedural harassment. And there also, in law courts also, because of the failure of following the procedures, the cases are being dragged to indefinite time, which the procedures do not allow, permit. And we have seen the length of trials today. After a while, the trials goes to such length. The answer to this is very simple. If you will not enforce the procedures, it is the procedures which ultimately administer justice to you. And therefore, it is imperative for the courts that the procedures are followed, the procedures are enforced to get justice, to administer justice for the common man or for the special man. And when you neglect, delay to enforce procedures, definitely your trial, either it is of a civil nature or it is of a criminal nature, will prolong, will protract. Procedures are there. We don't lack the procedures. We have the procedures. Either it is a civil procedure code or it is a criminal procedure code. Procedures are there. Constitutional mandate is there of right to speedy trials, fair investigations, fair trials. But the point is to follow these principles. You cannot sit as a silent spectator and see the sufferings of the people who are coming to you for justice. So, procedural harassment is one which is creation of the people, the managers, whose duty is to enforce the procedures, whose duty is to follow the procedures. And when you do not follow the procedures, you put others who are exposed to it to procedural harassment. which is absolutely impermissible by the constitutional principle. If fake FIRs are registered, then it is the bounden duty of the law courts to quash such type of fake FIRs. Because the establishment, the ruling establishment, has huge infrastructure. They can create any sort of evidence against you. Which may put you to the rigor of the trials, long trials. Because the things are required to be proved. But when the object is to put somebody to procedural harassment, then a fake case can be manufactured against you. Which may put you to a long trial in law courts. Because on the strength of the evidence you have to prove that whether the case is fake or not. But the people who have created such cases, they know that it is a fake case. Even if it is proved later that a fake case has been registered against you and they could not prove it, nothing happens to those who resort to such fake registrations of FIRs, the authorities, nothing happens to them. But the accused, the defendant, he is harassed. He is put to ordeal. He has to protect himself by proving that it is a fake case. All these things have to be detected at the level of charge while framing the charges. And once it passes this stage of framing charges and charge is framed, then you are put to trial. And we know how long the trials take. So, we need to be cautious that no such unconstitutional things should happen in the system. Because it may ruin the life of a man. It is the constitutional duty of the law courts to see, to guard that nothing unconstitutional should happen. The executive should not resort to unconstitutional methods to rope people in wrong cases, registering false, fake cases against them. We have to guard constitutionally the courts, the higher courts. They can guard, they can protect the rights of the people, which executive is habitual to breach. So, procedural harassment, which has become a norm today, has to be checked by the higher courts. To mitigate the sufferings of the people who are exposed to such harassment. With this, I will end this topic. Thank you very much. Have a good day.